Hey, what is up, everybody? Chad here, and today we are going to be continuing with Civil War. So we're actually almost done with it. We have like two more issues after this one right here. This one right here is done. It's gonna be like two more left, and those right there will just be like wrapping it up. Like basically like showing like the final fight between Tony Stark's team and Captain America's team. So basically where we left off. We actually left off after Thor. He arrived on a battlefield between Tony Stark and and Captain America during one of their fights, and he ended up killing Goliath, and that just like caused the entire backlash from like everyone. Like the entirety of Cap's team was just like, what was that? Like, that's just, why is Thor killing people? Like, they basically killed one of Bill Foster. Like, he was a friend of almost everybody there. Like, even Thor knew him, but it turned out to be a clone of Thor. It wasn't the actual Thor. So basically Tony Stark had people on his team cloning Thor to fight for his side, which basically just like caused a huge uproar, like between Captain America's team. Like, some of the people on his team left because they were like, okay, we're gonna be dying here. I'm not about to be sitting here doing this with this team, basically. So that's basically where we left off at. And then Susan Storm and Johnny Storm, they both end up defecting to Captain America's side too, basically. After Thor killed. They basically found out that they made a clone of Thor, basically. So we actually pick up there too. So Susan and Johnny Storm, they're out, they're being chased by Shield forces, like they've already been known to be, have went underground and joined Captain America, and basically, so they're basically fugitives too at this point. Like, they're being hunted down, stuff like that. So we actually found out that Shield actually has forces like flooding the streets. Like, there's literally nothing that anyone can do. Like, crime has actually went down a lot, but at the cost of a lot of people's, like, freedom. Like, they literally have Shield forces just like flooding the streets. Like, they're just out there, just like a bunch of people just like on watch all the time. So basically from there, we actually go to Stark Tower, right? We go to his tower, right? His building. And like everyone's like down there talking, like Happy Hogan is actually talking to Nighthawk, one of the guys that left Captain America's team. He's like, oh, this must have been a hard decision for you, man. And how Nighthawk, he's just like, yeah, it was probably the toughest decision I ever had to make in my life. But where's Tony Stark? They're asking for Tony Stark, and find out that Tony Stark is actually upstairs fighting Spider-Man. Yes, he's actually fighting Spider-Man right now. But Spider-Man was actually on his side. He's telling Stark, he's like, okay, I'm not being a part of the Avengers anymore. After all this stuff, after locking heroes up in Prison 42 in the negative zone, killing Bill Foster, making a clone of Thor, like I'm done. Like, that's it. I'm not being the side part of this anymore. Like, I'm done. I'm leaving the Avengers. I'm out of here. And Tony Stark, he's just like, okay, you can't. Our lives are different now. Like, nothing is gonna be the same ever again. You leaving? What is that gonna do? What about Mary Jane? What about Aunt May? Like, you want them to get hurt? Like, is that what? Basically, like subtle threats type thing. Spider-Man, he's just like. Spider-Man is hilarious. Like, as soon as he says that, Spider-Man just like yeets him through a wall. He yeets him through a wall, bro. It is hilarious. And like, he's like, okay, yeah, they're far away from here. You don't gotta worry about them at all. This is between me and you, bub. Throw hands. Like, that kind of stuff. And like Stark, he goes to like start trying to like attack Peter. He's like shooting his little repulsor blast at Peter, and Peter's just like dodging out of all of them. And all right, so imagine, have y'all ever seen a bird hit a window? That's what happens to Peter. He tries to like jump out of the he tries to jump out of the window of the tower and like just fly down, and he just like smacks into it. But like, when that happens though, some Shield forces, they find out that Iron Man and Spider-Man are fighting, so they actually go up there and they like kick the door down and just like start shooting. And and Tony Stark, he's just like, no, don't shoot at him. He's gonna. As soon as he says that, all the bullets hit the window, and Spider-Man is able to like break out of the window, because it's reinforced. Like, he couldn't just like break out of it by himself. After the bullets hit, make holes and stuff, it was easy for him to like punch through it. So he like does that, and like while he's doing that, Maria Hill actually gets word, and she's like, okay, we gotta deploy our men. Iron Man, stand down. And Iron Man's like, oh no, we gotta talk. I can talk to him. Like, just let me talk to him real quick. She's like, negative. Go, boys. And we end up finding out that Spider-Man is actually in the sewers, right? He's running away. He's in the sewers, and like while he's down there, he sees like this little toy, and like he looks at it, and it like blows up on him. And turns out that is the Jester, one of the villains. He ends up coming there to attack Spider-Man. Him, and like while he's being attacked by the Jester, Jack-o'-lantern walks in, and he like hits him with this gas, and like it like discombobulates him, stuff like that. He's basically like out of his mind right now. He's basically like high, pretty much. And so basically they sent villains to go and apprehend this hero. Like, so they're basically trying to like kill him. And like while they're doing that, the shield executives, you know, like they're talking to them. They're like, okay, if you kill this guy, if you kill Peter, we're gonna have to shock you. Like, you're gonna get 5,000 volts instantly. So they're basically like, they're sending villains out, but they're not letting them kill people. You know, they're just having them, you know, just trying to like bring them in and stuff like that. But still kind of shady, not gonna lie. And like while that's happening, Jack-o'-lantern, like he just gets shot in the head while he's like from behind while he's doing that. Like he just gets shot in the head. You know, like the Jester, he just gets incapacitated. You know, they both get put down real quick. And like Spider-Man looks up and he sees this skull face. He doesn't see who it is, but he sees the skull face. I'm pretty sure y'all can guess who this is. You know, guns, skull face. Y'all know who it is pretty much. All right, but yeah, from there, we actually go to Johnny and Susan Storm. You know, they have their fake identities. You know, they're on the ground level. You know, they end up going into this building, and they actually found out, and we actually found out that it's Captain America's new headquarters, pretty much. You know, they're talking. They're like, "Oh, well, did y'all hear about Cloak and Dagger? Like, did y'all hear about that? Like, what's going on?" And Captain America's just like, "Okay, yeah, they got arrested up in they got arrested, so we're kind of screwed." I was basically like banking on Cloak's teleporting skills, and we just got cut pretty much. So they're talking about how they're trading allies, like how Captain America's team is losing them, you know, and Nighthawk and Cable, you know, people like that. They left Captain America's side, and how Tony Stark's side, they're losing people too. They lost Susan, Johnny Storm, now Spider-Man. You know, he's not a part of that team anymore either. He left the Avengers. So, and they're like basically like talking about what the negative zone prison is, like what number 42 is, you know. And while they're doing that, while they're talking, the Punisher walked in, and he walks in with a badly damaged Peter Parker. Like he's been hurt severely, like he needs medical attention now. You know, they start calling up the doctors and stuff, and they end up getting him medical attention. And while they're doing that, everybody's just like, okay, what are you talking about, Punisher? This isn't your side, bro. You're not on our side. Like in Punisher, you know, he's making like a good case. You know, he's like, okay, I'm not with Tony Stark because they're employing criminals. I don't mess with criminals. I kill them for fun. That is my enjoyment. That is what gets me off. So, and they're like, while he's doing that, they're like, okay, this is ironic. You're a killer, but you don't want to be with criminals. You know, saying stuff like that. But like, I mean, at the end of the day, they're gonna need more help. Honestly, like, yeah, he's crazy, but like they're gonna need all the help they can get. And they're like talking. They're basically trying to figure out like what to do. You know, like they end up asking Captain America what he thinks, like if they should let him on the side. And he's like, okay, let me just think about it real quick. And while they're doing that, Tigra actually, she calls Tony Stark. She's basically the spy from Tony Stark on their side, pretty much. And like from there, we go to Daredevil. Daredevil, he just got captured. You know, Reed Richards, he's there. You know, he's expressing like, you know, some doubt and all that stuff. You know, saying like, did we pick the wrong side? Like, should we have just like stayed out of this? Like, just like left it alone? You know, She-Hulk, she's like, no, I mean, we're doing the right thing. You know, we're not wrong here. You know, we're the right guys, basically. You know, from there we see Daredevil. You know, he's getting taken to number 42, and Tony Stark, he's like talking to him. He's like, okay, we're doing this for good reasons, Daredevil. Come on, man. Like, we didn't have much to do here. Like, all you have to do is just say that you're on our side, and we got you, basically. And, you know, he's basically saying stuff like that. And like one of the guards that's like taking Daredevil in there, you know, he's like, oh, well, he wanted us to give you this, Stark. And he like gives him like this coin, like this $50. And like Daredevil, he turns around, he's like, all right, so now you got 31 pieces of silver, man. You're welcome. And that's the end of that story. So that pretty good story so far. Like I'm trying to see what these last two issues are gonna be about, because I haven't like, so yeah, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and I will see y'all on the next one.